Hello friends, welcome to my latest series. This is ASM Administration Oracle 12c. This is part 1 of this particular video. Okay, so let's get started. So what actually is Oracle ASM? If that question comes to your mind, then what can describe Oracle ASM? So Oracle ASM is actually what is volume manager and a file system for Oracle database files that supports a single instance Oracle database and Oracle RAC cluster. Okay, this is an Oracle proprietary storage management solution for Oracle database and other files. Okay, so let's see what it is. So traditionally what happens is when you take a look at the Linux system, okay, so there is an hardware, okay, so hard drive and all those things, okay. On top of it there is an operating system. You see this complete operating system. On top of it, what happens is, because hardware presents the disk, so what we do is, if there are 4 to 5 disks, we use the logical volume manager, okay, LVM we call it in Linux, and we use that to partition the disk accordingly and create the groups, okay, and then use that particular partitions as disk, okay, the virtual disks. And when we partition it, we can partition it accordingly to our requirement of whatever storage requirement we need, okay, and install the file system on top of it using MKFS, okay, that we all know. And then eventually we store the application files, and then application users can use those files. What is the difference between this and if when I said the ASM is also a logical volume manager for ASM for Oracle? Then what happens is, in ASM the hardware layer is same, operating system is kind of compressed, okay, and there is no middle layer of logical volume manager, so there is and no file system, so there is no interference of operating system volume manager here, okay. What ASM does is, ASM itself actually perform all those things, okay. We will see everything in detail in future, but ASM actually perform all those things of presenting the what hardware engineer or the person who is deploying this server will present the disk, okay. This particular area can be NAS, network attached storage, or SAN, right, storage area network, that is attached to the server can see the raw disks, okay. Now ASM can use those disks and create the ASM related disk, and then present it and create a ASM disk group, okay. And then those disk groups are used by applications itself to store the database files, okay. We will see what all files ASM stores, okay, and what all files ASM supports. Let's move forward. Now in latest version of Oracle, so it has started after 12c, okay, so 12c release 1 and beyond. There is a big terminology which came in, which is Flex ASM and Flex Cluster. We are not going to discuss about the Flex Cluster, that is totally a RAC topic, that is real application clusters. But Oracle Flex ASM, what it does is, traditionally when we talk about ASM, okay, in the 11gR2 environment, and when you install the Oracle RAC, what happens that the cluster environment may have one database which is serving okay, so one database is stored in ASM, and there are two cluster instances, okay, so there are two instances running on top of that particular database and serving the database itself, okay. So there are two, or let's say 4 instances, okay. Now what happens that in 11gR2 environment, all the instances will have ASM instances running apart from Oracle database instance, okay. Everyone knows that, okay. And ASM instance is a pathway and kind of a parent to Oracle database instance, which Oracle database uses as a pathway to connect to the database itself. Okay, it's just a pathway. Oracle ASM, right? Oracle ASM instance on every node. But in Flex ASM, what happens is you don't need to start Oracle ASM instance on every node, but the let's say we choose the cardinality. I will come about the topics of cardinality. But what happens in Flex ASM is we will configure the ASM Flex ASM on only 2 nodes or 3 nodes. Okay, so ASM instances will be running on 3 nodes, and the 4th node, right, when we talk about 4 node cluster, then the 4th node will be using the ASM network to use the ASM instance and connect to the database itself. We will see the architecture completely. So what is written here? Oracle ASM instance run on separate physical server from the database server. Okay, that I already said. Using Flex ASM, you can consolidate all the storage requirement into a single set of disk group. Okay, so what happens is what you can do is, as it already said that Oracle ASM instance run on separate physical server from the database server. So you can create a storage space, kind of ASM disk groups. Okay, and instances is running on the other server. Now there is no resource contention in that particular server where the disk groups are running, ASM instance is running, and then Oracle instance is running. So there will be a big contention, right? So what happens is we segregate it. So only let the database instance run in the one server, and on the other server there will be ASM instances running, which will be connected to the database, ASM databases, right? And it will be using that ASM instance. The Oracle database here will be using ASM instance to actually fetch the database, fetch the data from the database. Okay, we will see that in complete architecture again. All these disk groups are mounted by and managed by a small set of Oracle ASM instance running on the single cluster. Okay, you can specify the number of Oracle ASM instance with the cardinalities and cardinality setting. So that's what I said. If let's say there are 4 node clusters, we will configure the cardinality as 2. Okay, you cannot go less than 2 because 2 is minimum. So cardinality means if there is 4 node cluster, we will start during the grid installation, right? There will be ASM installed as well as clusterware installed. So during that installation step, we will select the cardinality as 2. So what will happen is ASM instances will be started on only 2 nodes. On other 2 nodes, those database instances will be using the ASM instances on those 2 nodes to fetch the records, right? So application itself or application user will see no difference, right, while connecting to the database, because what happens is application user is, let's say here, it will be connecting to the 4th node. 4th node knows how to connect using the ASM network, and 4th node will have only database instances running. But to start the database, okay, and fetch the data files, the ASM instances need to be there. So it will look up for the instances running on the 1st and 2nd node, and it will pick one, and it will fetch the records, and it will give it back to the user. Okay, hope you understand this. So the cluster definition in case of Flex ASM, what do we mean by the cluster in the case of Flex ASM? A cluster is set of nodes that provide group membership. Okay, all these nodes have heartbeat and they are connected to each other. Everyone might be knowing about it. Every cluster has one or more hub nodes. Hub node is actually like a same as the standard cluster, whatever we see in 11GR2, okay, and 12C as well if you don't configure the hub nodes. Hub and leaf node, we are not going to talk about it currently, but in near future I'll come up with a Flex cluster and Flex ASM, then we will discuss about hub node. Just understand this, that hub node is no different than the standard cluster what we used to see in 11GR2 or 12C without Flex cluster. Okay, when you configure Flex cluster, you need to configure hub node. Okay, hub node is just like a standard cluster node. Okay, the hub node have access to the Oracle ASM disk. Same way, every cluster has at least one private and one public network. As we already know this, public network is to connect for the application users to connect to the instance and eventually connect to the database. No application will be given direct access to the private interconnect, and private IPs actually do not route traffic to the internet itself, so there is no way the application user will be able to connect using the private network. Private network is just for the interconnect usage, where one node talks to each other. Okay, and talk about the availability and other things. Okay, if the cluster is going to use the Oracle ASM for storage, it has at least one ASM network. So for the Flex ASM, we usually see that we need in the standard cluster. If I keep on talking about the standard cluster, then standard cluster is what you saw in 11GR2. In the Flex cluster, what Flex ASM, what changed is now Oracle is suggesting to have one public network for the application users to connect to the instance, private interconnect the same way as for the nodes. Okay, and one more ASM network for direct communication for the nodes where the ASM instance is not running. We saw that before, right, for the cardinality. Okay, but there is an option where you can use the same private interconnect as an ASM network as well, so it can be used as ASM and private interconnect both. Okay, you don't need to actually configure 3 network cards for that. You can use one for public and other for ASM as well as private. Okay, so now let's see the different ASM designs we must have seen in our whole complete career, or if somebody is new to the Oracle database, wants to learn about what is ASM, then we need to actually try to differentiate between how ASM can be used in non-clustered environment and the clustered environment. Let's see that. Okay, so ASM instance designs. Okay, so this will be different type of architectures what we can configure on ASM. So this particular architecture, as you see that there is an ASM disk group. Okay, disk group is kind of kind of a boundary, or you can see as you can think as a box which contains the disks. Okay, these are the disks which can be consolidated into a disk group. Okay, so let's say you have ample amount of disks sitting, right? Now you want to use those, you don't want to connect each one of them to the server, right? What you will do, you will consolidate some of the disk and name it as something, and consolidate 3 disks, right, and name it something, right? That's how it's used. You consolidate it and think it as one. So let's say this is 10 GB, 10 GB, 10 GB. I'm just giving an example. If this disk is 10 GB, 10 GB, 10 GB, 30 GB, right? For you to use it at your home, you might be using USB to connect to this particular server 3 times, right? One and then use this, but you cannot consolidate it. But in ASM environment, just what do you do is bring in this disk, okay, and create a disk group out of this. So now there will be 30 GB disk group, okay, and name it something like data disk or whatever disk, right? Now you can use it. So that's how it's done. So these are the ASM disk group. Let's say there are 2 disk group. Okay, there is one server where the single instance database server. This is not clustered environment, and we have installed the ASM. We have installed clusterware and ASM is installed here, right? Now in this situation, ASM can still serve the single instance database. This is not a clustered environment, this is single instance environment. So there are 3 databases sitting at their separate Oracle software homes. Okay, so there will be data files for database A, there will be data files for database B, and there will be data files for database C under the disk group. Okay, and that will be split across disk groups. Okay, because this is directly connected, right, through network. Okay, let's continue on. This is non-clustered ASM and Oracle database. Okay, single instance connected to the ASM instance. This is ASM also supports this. Okay, it does not, it is not at all necessary that the ASM has to be used with a clustered environment. No, it's not like that. ASM is just an instance. You just need a storage. You consolidate the disk into the disk group and then present it. ASM instance will be up on this particular server, and then you can create multiple database, and then ASM instance can actually serve those database, right? And then clients can actually connect, right? Now this is a clustered environment. In this, ASM instance is clustered, okay, for the clustered databases. So same as before, there are two disk group, okay, connected to the three servers, okay. On these two nodes, there is a React database running, database A, okay, which has two instances, okay, two separate instances. So there are, as I already said, this is not flex, okay. So instance A for database A, because same database, right? For database A, there are two instances, 1 and 2. There will be ASM instances running on it, on both of them, right? But on this particular server, ASM instance 3 is all. ASM instance 3 has also been configured for the database second, the database B, with the two instances. For one first instances, there is an instance running on this apart from the database instance, but the database instance 2 is using this particular ASM instance on this particular server, okay, without directly connected. That's what I said, there is no ASM instance running here. Same as this, you can also visualize this with the mixed database. You can have clustered database and single database, whatever it is, right? So there is a database C running, single instance database C running, but it needs to, it actually needs to access the data files for it. It needs to store the data files, and eventually when the application user or whoever wants to access the data files, it needs to have a pathway, right? The data file are not sitting here, it's on the shared storage. So how it can use? There will be a database B which will be hosting the ASM instance. While installing, you can select the cardinality, and there will be ASM instance, and while installing the database, right, you can select it to be used for the ASM instance too. When you actually query it, you will see that it's using the ASM instance to get the data file details and records, right? So this is for the mixed database. There is a clustered environment, and there is single instance database as well. So it supports both. Let's talk more about ASM instance. Okay, so ASM instance. So as you see that this might be looking the same way as what you must have seen in the Oracle database instance too. So when you think about the ASM instance, right, it has very small footprint, okay. It's not a big instance when you install the ASM instance, but it has some specific components. It has shared global area. It's not as big as the Oracle database instance, but it has its own shared global area, which contains shared pool, large pool, ASM cache, and free memory, okay. And there are background processes as well, like RBEL, ARB, Gmon, ONN, PZ9N, and Mark, and others, right? There can be many. So this is what the ASM instance look like. So primary area of ASM instance, what does shared pool does? Used for metadata information, okay. This is in ASM instance, this is used for metadata information. For large pool, used for parallel operation, because this is completely associated with the storage, right, the ASM, right? So the functionality what database instance perform is completely different from what ASM instance perform, okay. The name might be seemingly might seem same, but the functionality and the functions actually are completely different, okay. The ASM cache we we saw ASM cache, right? So ASM cache is used for reading and writing blocks during the rebalance operation. Okay, free memory, unallocated memory, if it is required, then it is used. Okay, there are many background processes. I'll go through it quickly. So there is the archiver process. The archiver process exists only when the database is in archive log mode. We already know that. So these many process looks the same, but they might have a different effect on the database, on the ASM and on the database differently. Okay, so checkpoint, this is the checkpoint process. We already know that. Database writer, this is the database writer process. This is diagnostic process. So you can actually go through. So log writer process, pmon. This is process monitor process. Okay, and you guys can actually go through this. Okay, there is smon, vktm, mman, lmon, lmd. So some of important processes are lmon, lmd, lmsn or lck. All these are also important processes. You guys must know all these processes or some of it. I will tell you which one is required for either interview or for the job requirement as well. Not all of them are required. You guys must be using about archiver, checkpoint, database writer and all those things, right? There are many things, right? Log writer and smon and all those things. So let's move on. So these are the primary process. This has to be known by every person who is using ASM. Okay, and as far as interview goes, this is also very much required. So primary process is RBAL. Okay, this is ARB, Gmon, Mark, PZ9N. Okay, so RBAL opens all device file as part of discovery and coordinates the rebalancing activities. So rebalancing activities is when you want to store the data files, or when somebody wants to store the records, right? Inserting the operation, right? Deleting operation and all those things. Because there are multiple disks in the disk group, the rebalancing has to be done, because the files are spread across the multiple disks into the disk group. So all the files must be spread across so that there will be no contention on the single disk, right? That is the reason RBAL is used. ARB. Okay, one of the most slave process that can also do the rebalance activity. It uses RBAL. Okay, so this is slave process of this process. So this is parent, this is child. Gmon. This is responsible for managing disk level activities such as drop or offline and advancing the ASM disk group compatibility. So Gmon actually is responsible managing disk level activity, whatever activities are getting performed on the disk, right? Because disks are attached to the disk group, right? So Gmon actually takes care of the disks if the disks are either dropped, removed, added or offline. Okay, all these things are monitored by Gmon. Now marks ASM allocation unit as tail following the missed write to an offline disk. Okay, so what happens that if specific disk is offline, then it actually informs the ASM instance, okay, about if the particular disk is offline or not. Okay, so like that. ONN, one or more ASM slave process forming a pool of connection to ASM. So you don't need to mug it up, but you need to know all these processes, right? So that when you do ps-eaf pipe grep ASM, then you will see all these processes running. Okay, now the important thing, node listener. You heard about scan listener. Okay, you heard about local listener, but what is node listener? So node listener is installed when the ASM is installed. Okay, this is specific to the ASM instance. Okay, so why this is required is when we are configuring flex ASM, right? Or we are not configuring flex ASM, but rather ASM instance are used by Oracle clients being the Oracle database instance. then this node listener is required. Same as, let's say, the database, we are the client, or the application team, or the application user is the client for the Oracle database instance, right? If the listener is not running, if the listener is not running on the database, then users will not be able to connect to the database, correct? Right? Same way, node listener must be running. This is for the ASM listener process. Okay, there is a listener process running. So in case if Flex ASM is configured, then for some nodes there is no ASM instance running. They need to actually, the database instance need to talk to some of the ASM instance to fetch the record from the data files, right? Otherwise it will not be able to pull the records from the shared disk. Yeah, for that reason you need a node listener. So node listener is the process that helps establish a network connection from ASM clients to the ASM instance. Okay, that's what I said. For ASM, the clients will be the database instance. Okay, and that is required because for some of the nodes in the Flex cluster, there won't be a ASM instance running. So they need help of ASM instance to connect to the database, right? If application team or application user wants to fetch the record, right, select something from the database, how would they select? Because the ASM instance is not at all running on that particular server, right, that node, and ASM is a pathway, and ASM instance is a pathway, so it needs to connect to the instance running on other nodes, right? For that, node listener is required. Where the binary runs from? It runs from the grid Oracle home /bin directory. Okay, the default port it runs on is 1521. It is same as database instance listener. Okay, is capable listening all database instance on the same machine in addition to the ASM instance. Okay, if either the database instance is running on same machine or on the other machine in the Flex cluster environment, then also, okay, node listener is required. And when you query ps-eaf pipe grep DNS, then it will show like that. I will show you. Okay, so I have a SSH client. I'll show you. I have two node cluster. So when we talk about the listener, the ASM listener, then I can show you. Okay, so let's see the ASM listener. DNS. Okay, so what happening here is there's a scan listener running. Okay, and don't worry about this. Okay, so we are talking about this one. This is a node listener. Okay, its name is TNS listener. Okay, when we query here as well, so when we query here as well, yeah, so there is one scan listener running. Okay, this listener is running, and this is database listener. Okay, this is database listener. This is the node listener. Okay, so let's move on. Now the configuration file. What are the configuration file for node listener? The configuration file will be when you set up environment variable as ASM plus ASM1 or 2 or how many nodes you have. The environment should be grid home. Okay, so Oracle home /network/admin, because as you all might be knowing that in the single instance environment, the listener runs from the Oracle software home. but in the cluster environment the listener runs from the grid home. Okay, so that's what it is, and the sqlnet.aura, that is where you need to configure. And the configuration, the commands to use to check and start and stop and status listener, then also you can use it. So let's check using the srvctl utility. Okay, or cl1 srvctl status listener -d. Let's check it. What was that? Sorry, -1 si list. Just a second. So I was running the incorrect command. The information should be as already written here as node name, right? -n node name. So it has to be -n and my host name, the node1. So it's saying that there are two instances running. The listener, that is database listener. Okay, and this is the node listener. Okay, that's what we discussed, right? Node listener. Now let's discuss about the configuration files. So ASM instance configuration files. So there are two instance configuration files. That will be the SP file. You must be knowing about the SP file in the database instance. There is one SP file for the ASM instance as well. Okay, so this SP file is used the same way as the SP file used in the database instance. It contains the parameters, okay, startup parameters and the instance parameters. So it initializes the ASM instance and define the startup parameters. Okay, and the password file. The password file is also same as a database password file with the name Aura PW and ASM. Okay, this is the binary password file for the remote authentication. As you all might be knowing that if you want to authenticate remotely using the sysASM, then we will need the password file. We will all see the practical aspect of all these theoretical things, okay, in the near future. So don't worry too much about it. First we will complete the theory, okay, part 1, part 2, and then as soon as that's done we will complete the practical stuff and then move on with the other topics, right? Disk group, disks and all those things internally. So let's move on for the configuration files. There is node listener configuration file as well. We already defined this, a listener.aura. This is a text file that defines the node listener. The sqlnet.aura is an optional parameter .aura file which provide additional in listener options. Okay, and there is miscellaneous configuration files. What all those miscellaneous those configuration files are Aura tab files. This is where the instance details are mentioned. So when you do a cat /etc/aura tab, you will see that there is an entry for the ASM instance 1, and on the node 2 there will be entry in the instance 2 plus ASM 2, and there will be entry saying this is the Oracle grid home. Okay, or instloc l.loc. This is also a configuration file which defines the Oracle inventory directory. Okay, which contains the complete information of what all products installed on this particular home. Okay, that's what it defines. Let's move on. Now ASM disk group. Okay, this is a very important topic. If you want to understand what ASM is, this is also a big chunk of information or kind of very important information. So let's see about the disk group. So what is disk group? Okay, so as I already defined, disk group contains disk group contain disks. Okay, so when you have raw devices or disks, hardware disks, what you do is consolidate those. Let's say you have 5 disks, then you can consolidate those disks into a disk group and then use it accordingly, thinking that or visualizing that as one disk. Okay, so let's say you have 10 gig of 5 disks, so 50 gigs of storage you have available. What you will do, you will consolidate them into one disk group and call that as data, or whatever you want to use it for. Okay, so the ASM disk group is a fundamental object that ASM manages. Okay, so ASM instance actually manages this ASM disk group. Okay, so ASM instance is a pathway. If Oracle database instance want to connect to the through the disk group, okay, to finally to the data files sitting underneath it, then ASM instance is a pathway. It will take you to the disk group, finally to the disk, okay, and to the location where the file is sitting physically. So what does that particular disk group consist of? It consists of one or more ASM disks that provide space. That is logical. Okay, include self-contained metadata and login information for management of space within the each disk group, because the thing is that you are consolidating the disk into the disk group, so there will be metadata information of those disks as well. Okay, the internal structure of those disks, so that's how the consolidation has been used and how ASM instance is giving you the pathway for the database instance to collect information or select whatever you want to query, right, from the data files itself, right, because eventually the files will be sitting under the disk group, right, and that will be split across physical storage disks, right. It is the basis of storage of ASM files. Okay, these are the storage areas. There is, while installing the ASM, right, or creating the disk group, you will see that you will get a prompt saying that please select the different redundancy level. So there is 3 redundancy level defined here. Normal, as we all know, mirroring means the replica of one copy. Okay, so normal redundancy means there will be two copy, okay, for particular file. High redundancy means there will be 3-way mirroring, three files, the duplicate files. Okay, and external means you will be relying on the external vendors or the external setups to do the mirroring, okay, using the RAID. Okay, that is redundant array of independent disks, inexpensive disk, whatever it is. So you will be relying on the external method. It is not the Oracle proprietary. If you select external, then you have to take care of whatever files sitting under the disk group. Okay, so this finishes our session. Hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next video we will cover ASM disks in more detail, ASM files in this detail, because we have covered a disk group. Okay, we will cover more internal structure, that is disks, because ASM disk group composed of disks. We will see the files, ASM files. Okay, we will see what is ASM client. Okay, we will see the ASM utilities, the tools which can use the ASM instance. Okay, we will see the password based authentication, how we can log in using sysASM and all those things. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and please make sure to like my video, please subscribe my video, and please share with your friends and families. Thank you very much.